Very good.
Obsessed
Excellent.
with your cat, Lexi.
That's a great way to start the stream.
I'm sure he feels it and appreciates it.
This is Welcome to Queers Guild, where we just talk about our cats.
What else is there to talk about?
What else is there to do except talk about our cats?
What else is there?
Hi, and welcome to Queers Guild. Welcome to Stars I Shall Find, our Star Trek Adventures campaign. We're back after a little bit of a break. We're here on a Thursday. It feels a little weird to be here on a Thursday, but it's nice. It's good. I'm happy to be here. I am joined once again by our lovely cast of characters. And we're gonna play some Star Trek. I'm like sweating. Now I'm like, we started and now I'm like, I'm sweating.
Pressure of greatness.
You gotta get the jitters out.
Yeah, I gotta get the jitters.
Just do some shakes.
So, I don't think we have any announcements besides we're back, baby. Guess who's back?
Back again.
Back again. All right. So last time on Stars I Shall Find, we had a little encounter of the Q kind, meeting a wonderful, eccentric, off-the-wall, just kind of insecure Q, who took a special liking to our first officer, Dave Evan, and sent the crew into a very strange baseball game, where they somehow beat Q, a nigh omnipotent being at baseball. Then Q gave some more information, was true to her word, and let Situla give her a scan, and answered some questions from the captain, and then had a quick little chat with Dave Evan before disappearing off into wherever the hell she went. And now we have a little bit of time before the ship, which has been during a past previous mission, had a little bit of a hole.
A little bit of a giant hole that affected 2 entire levels.
That's what happens when a ship rams into your other ship. I could draw diagrams, but anyway. So the ship is still being repaired. So with that, there seems to be some downtime, some low time to just chill and do things. This episode's title, which is our 13th episode, which is super lucky. This episode shall be called There Will Be Rest.
Definitely not ominous at all.
And so,
Shore leave. Woo, nothing bad happens on shore leave.
Nothing bad happens on shore leave.
No. You have to say it. You just have to say it on stream.
I did, yeah, I did.
Okay, so this is going to be a... we lost the moon.
We're spinning out a gravitational pull. We've lost.
There was a little bit of a lag on my video, like seeing moon ping out, and so I was like, what's the plot of this episode?
We lost the... The plot is we
lost the what? Oh god.
Hang on, we'll be back in a second.
This isn't what I planned for.
Moon is pinging in and out.
Moon is unfortunately
deciding whether to stay.
Had warned us before we began that you would be having internet issues, so
this is to be expected.
Everyone just bear with us.
No, don't apologize. It's all right.
Don't apologize.
If it's easier,
I'm just gonna turn. Well, I don't know if turning my video off is actually gonna help anything or not.
I doubt it. Knowing
Great. In both our Trophy Dark episodes so far, my internet has fully cut out.
It's fine. Everything's fine. There we go. Sorry, I just had to get the screen to get all fixed up. Okay. So where did I leave off? We have some shore leave, which nothing surely will go wrong. So everyone has a free
Nothing
chance
ever
to.
goes wrong on shore leave.
Nope, nothing ever goes wrong on shore leave. So we have a chance for everyone to get some things out of the way that they would like to do, any fun activities, stuff like that. Let's see. Who should we start with? Why don't we start with Mabrin? Why don't we start with you? So what
Hi.
is your plan for this
So,
little bit of downtime?
Yeah. So I think we said earlier in another episode that we're sort of like in like April, May of like the Earth calendar year.
Mm-hmm.
So by my calculation, we're coming up to midsummer soon, which my personal headcanon corresponds well with the Bajoran calendar and the annual festival of Peldor Joy, I should say, which is like a gratitude festival. So I would like to run it on the ship, as like the one senior officer who happens to be a Bajoran. I would quite like to do that. So like a few days, like maybe a day or two before it's supposed to be set, I'm gonna like page the captain and be like, or just send a little message, be like, hey captain, can we have a chat? I'd like to run a sort of event, and like if you have any questions, if you want any details, just like let me know. We can arrange a meeting. Just let me know how it goes. Okay, bye.
And the captain's response?
So the captain will probably respond along the lines of, sounds great. Let me know what you need from me. I assume this is about the upcoming festival. Let me know if I can reserve conference room space or recreation deck space or requisition anything from the station for you. Just let me know.
Okay. In terms of the actual ritual equipment, I realized we could have had this conversation face to face, but never mind. In terms of the actual ritual equipment, I have my own personal like collection of religious bits and pieces of the Bajoran faith. So we don't need to worry too much about like suddenly replicating the bits and pieces I need. The one thing we might need though are streamers and paper and maybe pens, because I do not possess those. So the streamers are like long, glittery, like proper, like gold and purple, and they are going up. I have a list. I have a list of places I want these streamers to go. I want them in the corridor to Medbay, because that's where most of the Bajorans are at this point. There will be chunks of engineering sections that will probably want some streamers. I don't know if there's like any training rooms specifically that the security team go to. I am just a medical officer. I've sort of sent like an email to like every Bajoran on the stuff like, hey, Peldor Joy's coming up. Where do you want the streamers? Because I'm organizing it this time around. So there'll probably be some there. I would like some in the canteen, maybe some in the bar. And anywhere else that I and the handful of Bajorans can get away with. So, like, if it turns out people are like kicking up a fuss about why is there just all this shit around that ship, then I will, fine, we'll take it down. But we're like, as soon as we like start putting things up, I will send an email to everyone on the crew, which is like, there is a Bajoran festival coming up. I am hoping to hold it probably in the bar.
And forward, probably.
10 forward would be the best place for it. If anyone would like to come along and just join in, I'll just do a little speech. It's a bit of a party. It's a time of renewal and gratitude. So if you'd like to just bring your worries, let them go, and then just have a blessed day, have fun, you know. So that's pretty much it.
I will preempt that and send a message, like a BCC, all the department heads, and inform them that if they would like to be part of the festivities and decorate either their areas of the corridor or parts of their offices, lab spaces, whatever, I will indicate that they should reach out to Dr. Mabran for more information, for supplies, decorations, whatever. I will let Dr. Mabran know that the best place to acquire paper, pens, and other sundry items is Dave Evan.
Right.
And then I will send out a shipwide invitation for everyone to join us in 10 forward over the course of the day of the festival. And I will separately send an invitation to Admiral Abair and whoever we haven't met them yet, but whoever the Klingon
Oh yes.
senior officer on the station is.
Oh,
Make
yes.
me NPCs really fast, Avery.
Yes. No, I have them. Hang on one second.
It's Worf. He's here.
He's here. It's him. Worf.
Yes. Let Daru interact with Worf.
He wasn't there for the Peldor Joy festivities,
No,
or the
wasn't.
one episode they had of it on Deep Space Nine. He wasn't there yet. I mean, arguably they must have held a few when he was there, but no, you don't see them.
I will find it because I know who.
Canon character.
If there's
character.
ambassador,
sort of. Okay, now is the moment where I need to decide whether this is canon with a different show. Yeah, okay, so it's General Kolar. Olar.
Oh,
So he is the general on
spell
this.
that again, I'm sorry.
Qolar.
All part of your.
All part of the plan. Render state. Pulling that stuff out. Expanse. So yes, so there's General Kolar is the Klingon leader of the Narendra Station. There is Dr. Helena Taliaferro, who is a civilian scientist for research scientific research efforts based out of the station. The chief
How do you spell her surname?
Taliaferro, so Taliaferro. Taliaferro. And then there's the chief engineer, Lieutenant Olok. Olok. And there are others if you would like them. But
That's all right. I would specifically pass the invitation along to General Kolar and Admiral Hebert, and if they wish to extend the invite to their people, that's on them.
Okay.
But just
Oh no, she's Betazoid. Okay. Sorry, I'm reading. All right. So yeah, so word gets around really quickly. Even like the minute you start putting up streamers, Mabrin, people like start whispering around like, what's happening? And like people are like some of the Bajorans like immediately like they know because they're helping you put up like some of the people are like walking up to the Bajorans like, is something going on? Like, and so even before you and the captain send out a message saying that there's going to be this festival, there's already this sort of like buzz or throughout the ship. A lot of the people who are working on fixing the ship, which is sort of it's a mix between like ship crew members and they're sort of being helped out by some of the engineering crew of the station because there's not much repair work that needs to be done on the station, so they can help out. So they quickly they've been working like around the clock to get this thing fixed, and they were starting to get like a little like weary of fixing the ship. But as soon as this word gets around that there's going to be a party, they're like, oh cool. It sort of lifts up their spirits a little bit. And you you don't get any pushback really about maybe like a few people are just like some of the Klingons are like fussing around with all the
frippery,
the riffraff and all that. But they're sort of, they'll get over it. And yeah, so things like that. So this is sort of like low hum of energy throughout the ship. And word gets around the station too, and soon there's going to be you get word that like there's going to be a lot of people coming over from the station as well, lots of civilians sort of coming over, and like even people on the station have started to put up streamers and stuff throughout the station as well, to like, it's sort of like when one place has like a party and then another place is like, I also want to throw a party, so they're like, I'm gonna come to this smaller party if there's no more room at the bigger party kind of thing.
As soon as it starts getting obvious there is a lot of interest in this, I might run to Dave Evan and be like, so what's the kind of space that would be suitable for a couple of hundred, maybe 1,000 or so people? Is there a space for that on this ship?
I don't know what sort of space do we have. Like we could probably move one of the like we could probably clear one of the hangars for like
Yeah.
I was thinking
the we could move one of the little shuttles.
Shuttle bay.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
this is true. We do. So he'll just stand there and think about it for a second. Like, all right, I mean, if we move some of the shuttles out and stick them somewhere else, I'm sure there's places to keep shuttles around here. Probably use the shuttle bay, or at least a good portion of it, and you could probably cram just about everyone in there.
And we'll get like a nice view of the space.
Yeah,
exactly.
You can open up the blast
Seems like a nice place
and...
to have a party.
Yeah.
This is a question for the DM.
Okay.
Which direction is Bejor? Which direction is the wormhole?
So, oh gosh. Let me pull up my star map that I have. It is to the galactic west of here. Is
there a shuttle bay that faces west?
I mean, the ship isn't. So the ship there's. The ship is sort of in like a stable orbit around the station. There's no station. There's no way of like. The Narendra station isn't big enough to hold the Gwen. It could theoretically like dock up against it, but I think for sake of repairs and stuff like that, it's sort of hovering, sort of just like a couple, like 1,000 kilometers off the station. So you could theoretically turn the ship so the shuttle bay is facing towards Bajor.
It's fine. It was mostly just for like the sort of symbolism of it all, but it's okay. It's fine. I'm not going to be like that person that's like, let's move the entire ship so that this little quasi-religious situation can be like, we're facing our home for like the 10 people.
I feel like now that you've mentioned it, though, Dave Evan is going to be at the helm.
Right, I mean,
No.
we could.
I don't want to like cause trouble. There's like, I literally counted them. At one point, there was only 7 Bajorans on the ship, including myself.
Name
Listen,
that
if
we know
there's
of.
anything
Oh.
Steve
12
gets
more
from being
day.
the weird rando who celebrates holidays, no one else seems to care about.
No.
We also haven't populated
Plus,
the
it would be
entire
good for morale.
ship of NPCs.
I mean, that's
There's-
true. That is very true.
You could just pick a number of
1,
how many
Yeah.
Bajorians you want
3,
on the ship.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 actual Bajorans and 3 Bajoran Cardassian hybrid people.
We'll unpack that later.
For reasons. Oh, we'll get to that.
That later.
Yeah. So
I still maintain that there is only one Cardassian on this ship, and that is my mate, Anim Dobak. That is it.
my bro, my man, my main
My
man.
bro.
I feel like, at least in terms of like willingness to move things around for this, it would at least seem like a very good thing for morale.
Aww.
Just to be able to do something like just to chill. And I feel like a display of like, yeah, we're doing this for an extremely not small number of people on our crew, but like, you know, it sucks that they wouldn't be able to do what they would normally do if they were home. So we'll do our best to replicate it. We'll do our best.
It might be a small number of people on our crew, but it's not a small number of people in our heart.
In my heart, yeah. And also, like,
Yeah, there we go.
I was waiting for that sentence to finish.
if you turn the ship facing towards Bajor, it's also going to face towards pretty much every other system in the Alpha and Beta Quadrant.
Oh.
In the Federation, at least. So
Very cool view.
Yeah. So it's not so there's like once you mention it offhandedly to like one of the Bajorans helping you, and then they're like, that's actually a really good idea, and then they tell like one of their friends or something like that who's not a Bajoran. They're like, but that also faces my home, and so everyone's sort of like, hey, you should.
It eventually gets back to
from over
Dave
there,
Evan,
too.
and he plans to spend the whole day at the helm, keeping us turned the right way.
You could set it on autopilot.
Like,
It's okay.
perfect.
You
I'm
can
happy
still be-
here.
Yeah. So that's going to be the next day. So this is sort of like the build up to that. So while everyone is off preparing to get this done, Daru, what are you doing?
Okay, so the first thing that happens is that as soon as they dock at Narendra, Daru hears from one of their dads, we just happened to be near Narendra. Why don't we set up a time to come visit you? I've just realized you can't see me. Happened to be near Narendra was in air quotes.
Right.
This is a thing they have always done. Anytime Daru is anywhere they can get to happen to be in the area.
I love that.
So at some point, Daru impulsively invites the dadsters to have dinner with the dads.
Ooh.
And it's a whole thing. And
Okay.
it's a lot of you better be protecting our kid.
Mm-hmm. There's
And
this,
a lot
yeah.
of
Where do you get dinner? Because
yes,
there's
you are
a
absolutely
few.
protecting your kid.
Because there's the ship. There's 10 forward on the ship. There's also, I think, there's a bar on Narendra Station. There's also, I'll make one up right now. There is a Klingon Federation fusion restaurant run by a couple, a human and a Klingon couple, whose names I'm
So I
looking
did
up
just
right
roll
now.
for it because there were a couple of options in my head.
Mhm.
Depending on how loud it is at Wasted Space, I want to say the first sort of inclination is to go to Wasted Space if they can like get a table and
Okay.
actually have a conversation.
Sure.
If it's
Yeah,
too loud in the bar, they'll probably go to the.
I'll say it's like a chill, a low, it's a low, dull din uh throughout the bar. Right now there's
So there's definitely some panic beforehand, and holy shit, what did I just do? This is going to be so embarrassing.
Mhm.
Um, but it actually, I feel like I should also roll for this. Yeah, goes fairly smoothly. And by the end, Daru has ended up with 4 parent figures who all get along way too well.
there's a lot
And
of like boastful laughing from your dads
yes,
and
a lot of
like
telling stories
mhm,
of from when Daru was a kid. And yeah,
yeah. Zada is
I
one of the
want baby
doctors.
Daru stories.
I haven't actually come up with any baby Daru stories.
So Dr. Zada
Maybe we'll
is
sometime this
especially
week.
loving having
What
these.
was the first time that Daru had a proper injury, or the first time Daru got into a fight?
Okay,
Go.
okay. So
Which one of the
I
dads
haven't
tells the
dealt a
story?
ton
Because I
into.
bet they're going to be different the way they tell the stories.
Okay. Oh yeah, I
Hmm.
am. I can't remember either of the dads' names, just what Daru calls them,
Yeah,
because that's the state of my brain on jet lag. Um,
I can probably pull them up.
I'm gonna say Vav probably tells the story, the one who is the stay-at-home dad of the pair.
Okay.
So Daru first came onto the Bortas. They were very withdrawn and very sort of hidden within themselves as a way of dealing with the trauma they experienced growing up on a syndicate ship. And so it took time, but the Bortas does have a small holodeck, and we decided one day to open up one of the training programs. This is a Klingon ship, mind you. So one of the training programs, which was actually fighting Jem'Hadar. And
Wait.
luckily the safeties were on.
Before we do
Am I?
that, I think
Yes.
When
what
was
year would this
this?
be? Because like could this might have been before contact with the Dominion.
Oh, you're right. No, would not have been Jem'Hadar. You're right.
It would probably would
Um.
have been either
Oh no.
Romulans or
It was
Federation.
nope. It was on Kronos, and it was a hunting party that was hunting targs
Okay.
and trying to
Oh,
capture them. And of course, Vav says very proudly that Daru held the road, which was not entirely true. Uh, but there is a scar from where, like, on their rib cage, from where a targ gouged them with a horn. And that was like the first like serious injury. And Daru, being Daru, was insistent that they not take the scar away. It's like, no, I'm keeping. You can heal it, but I'm keeping the scar.
Mm-hmm.
And that has sort of been Daru's philosophy ever since. They have a lot of scars on their arms and one on their face. Yeah, that was the first scar right along the rib cage.
And I think
Um,
the two dads, or the Datchers, as we've lovingly calling them, Caden and Zada, are both like they're like very, they take in these stories like with rapt attention and like are like very very like involved and like love and like are both having such a great time just conversing with your two dads. And there is a moment of like where one of your Klingon dads very much like, after maybe like, would they be drinking in this?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
absolutely.
After like the third cup of blood wine, he like pulls Caden in by the scruff of his like shirt, and he's like,
This is Daru's reaction.
treat them
Is that
right.
the same dad that was boasting about the story, or was that dad number 2?
No, no, it would be the other one.
It'll be the
Okay.
other one, yeah.
Be the one she calls father.
He just pulls Caden in, and Caden's like very much like a kind of, and it is a very stern look of like, you better take care, you better not like, better not fuck up kind of thing, and then just like breaks into a laugh and smacks him on the shoulder and leans back.
Yep, sounds about right.
Oh, that thing
And
Klingons
then
do
there is
where
one
they
other
intimidate
thing
you.
I wanted to do, but I
while-
think it would happen after the festival.
Okay, so we can meet after that. Okay, so
So, cool.
great.
That is Daru's
Next.
first day of short leave, though.
Cool. All right. Dave Evan, what you doing?
I am getting ready to host a flight clinic. Is what I'm doing after I've of course had like a batch of video messages that I've created and saved and sort of stored up to send as soon as we were back in like reasonable internet connection to the rest of the galaxy range.
Yeah, this would
And
probably
so I
like, yeah, where you are now is probably the best place, because there's like the station has a huge subspace relay that will shoot things out to the rest of the Federation. So
made sure to send those off right away back
Okay.
home. A good like there were a lot of them. And then after that, because I was under strict orders from someone to do something that was not work, because my plan was basically just to sit here and like babysit the repairs for the ship and just sort of hover. And someone, probably either the captain or the CMO, was like, so not only is that just terrible for you, you're gonna freak out the people who are fixing the ship if you just sit there and stare at them the whole time. So you're under like actual orders not to do any work for like X amount of time. And I was like, well, dip. There go my plans. I'm probably having fun. Like I'm like downloading a big data dump that I got like in return from my brother of all of the baseball games that have happened since the last one I got. But other than that, I decided to host a flight clinic, a piloting clinic. Basically, put out the word to anybody of any skill level, any experience level who was interested in piloting and interested in flying, interested in learning some tricks, interested in getting their feet wet in the first place, to come and do some piloting simulations in a piloting clinic with. I'm like, I guess there's no point in being like a really freaking good pilot if you can't use it, and there's not much else I can do with it at the moment.
Okay. So you get
Just so you know.
Yeah.
Sorry. Just so you know, you do have at least 3 of my doctors on the list that join you. Zata,
Good.
interestingly enough. Cervantes the Himbo.
Yes.
And the
Fabulous.
shady Andorian Teshelkar.
Ooh, okay. You also get a sign up, Lieutenant Brosy also signs up as well. She like shoots you. She like
God
actually she like
bless. I'm delighted.
she calms you at one point. Like, I know I'm like super busy, but this sounds dope as hell, so I'm joining you.
I think at least
I mean, hey, if
one
I'm
of the
not the only one
reasonable-
on ban from work 100% of the time.
one of the reasonable scientists, or a handful of like reasonable scientists. I bet Murphy
King Murphy.
joins.
Leave me alone about.
As does our friend from episode 1, Mia Bem Laban.
Oh, Laban, yeah.
I'm also during this just like piloting clinic, like flight simulator thing.
Mhm.
I'm gonna keep an eye out just in case anybody like really does way better than they're supposed to for whatever skill level they theoretically walk in with, because that is how I got recruited. Because I got recruited into a fleet because there was like one at a career fair at the college that I attended for forensic accounting. I wandered into a career fair, was dragged there by some friends, wandered into a career fair, did a flight simulator for shits and giggles, and kind of like blew the score out of the water. And they were like, yeah, okay, here's a business card, give us a call. And now here we are. So just on the off chance, I'm going to keep an eye on how folks do, just in case somebody does like unreasonably well.
The shifty Andorian
Yeah,
does very well.
we'll see
Yeah.
about that. We'll see how they roll. So yeah,
I
so
will say you also have
He does have a character sheet now.
you also have the
Ooh.
captain's translator.
And I think
The
there
captain's
are
translator.
The captain's interpreter also
yeah,
joins.
like 2 or 3 from the
Excellent.
security team who sort of along the same lines as your experience are like, hey, yeah, that sounds fun. Let's go see what we can do.
yeah. So I would say you, because you are the one that like schedules everything, you can easily just be like schedule out a couple holodecks, just like move things around, just be like, here, we're gonna have some training flight simulators in these holodecks. And yeah, so you head down to the holodeck, and as you're walking down, Rosie sort of sidles on up next to you. She's like, "So do you need like a co person running helping you? Because like, not to brag, but I'm like 80% as good as you."
Was that a concrete statistic?
Would you like to confirm that statistic?
I mean, we may as well start by giving everyone kind of a view of what's possible.
All right,
If you're up for a little bit of a demo.
sure. Do you want to make it a bet? Bet I can
Feels
fly
like a
better than you.
terrible idea. Why not?
Excellent. All right.
He's regretting this immediately.
She you approach the two holodecks that are right next to each other, and there's like a small crowd of all these people, and there's a single like panel that seems that you can like display both of your like piloting skills, like piloting like a video of you in the holodeck doing your thing. So like there's gonna be like a side by side view of how good you two are doing.
It's
So
it's set up for PvP like
yeah, PvP
gaming
spectator
here.
sport. Yeah, it's fucking we're doing
Perfect.
esports in Star Trek now.
Good.
Okay.
I mean, hey, I got us doing real sports last time.
Yeah.
So.
Why not? All right, so we're gonna do it like this. So it's gonna be like a little flight simulator. You're both gonna be doing the same like simulation. How difficult do you want it to be? Because I think Rosie will let you
Ooh.
like pick the simulation.
Let's do sort of moderate, like middle ground.
Okay.
Here.
how about flying through the asteroid belt on Earth in the solar system? Sort of.
Classic.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool. All right.
It's
So
very old school. I love it.
mhm. So you both open up into the holodeck, and the doors slide open, and inside is a perfectly standard like model of a Federation shuttlecraft, and you will both go in and both like do the routine of like setting of launching the ship, and you set out. It's basically like an obstacle course where uh, it's basically Mario Kart but in space, um, which is how I'm describing it apparently. So
Perfect. No, I love that.
this is going to be it's moderate. So I'll say it's difficulty
Rainbow
2.
Road.
What?
It's Rainbow Road.
It's not Rainbow Road.
Not Rainbow Road?
No, it's yeah, it's Rainbow Road. Difficulty 2 task. Uh control con.
Okay.
Um
Okay. How many dice am I rolling for this one?
2d20.
Okay.
See what Rosie's
Ah.
focus are. Ooh, Helm operations.
I also have home operations.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I would hope so.
Right?
All right, what'd you get?
I got 2 successes. I got a 13 and a 3, attempting to beat a 17.
Nice. Okay. Rosie got 3 successes.
Well, Lexi, what's your con?
Was
Wait, was
one
I
of your
supposed
dice
to-
a 3?
Yes.
Then you
With your
got
focus,
3
that's a crit.
successes.
Oh, my con score. Yeah, my con score is a 5.
Yeah, so that 3 is a crit.
Okay.
So it's an even match. You both managed to get
Okay, what do we say we kick it up a notch and try it again?
you calm her over to the other side, and she says, "All right, where do you want to go? I've been so many places."
All right. This would be so much easier if I knew space things.
she'll notice like your hesitation. She'll be like, we've got the ice cliffs of Andoria. We've got
Oh, I like ice.
yeah, I like ice. We got, let me think. Hang on, I'm actually gonna pull up my little thing. Got the Chromie cluster you can fly through, or the Paulson Nebula.
Sorry, the
That was a good
homie
one.
cluster?
The Chromie, Hromi, yes.
Sorry.
the homie cluster.
The homie cluster?
Yo. Honestly, Rosie would have said Pomey.
Roads before Fromy cluster.
What?
Roads before Fromy cluster.
Yeah, bros before. What do you think?
All right. Let's do the ice cliffs.
All right, Ice Cliffs Andoria. Let's make this interesting. And she will like hop out of like program some more stuff into the holodeck program,
Oh God.
and then you're off. So I'm gonna increase the difficulty to 3, and I'm gonna spend
Okay.
2 threat to increase the complication range by 2.
Oh Christ. All right.
I think at this point it's safe to say I think we'd all like you to use the momentum.
Yeah, we did gain. I'll give you 2
It's a
momentum
new
because
episode,
you
we
both,
have none.
both rolled over the thing. So I'll give you both. I'll give you 2 momentum if you want to spend any of those.
Please spend one.
Yeah, I'll spend a momentum. And that gives me an extra dice, yeah?
Yeah.
Me
Same roll.
13 episodes in, I know how to play Star Trek.
I know how to play Star Trek. All right.
Okay, so I'm rolling 4 then?
3.
3? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Rosie didn't succeed.
Ooh. So I'm rolling to beat a 17. I got a 17, a 4, and an 8.
Okay, that's a success, and then a crit.
One of which is under my con score.
Yeah, so it's a crit. And
Would
then
be 4 successes.
and 4. So yeah, it's 4 successes. So you succeed. Gain a momentum again. Rosie only got 2 successes, so she's not doing great. So, you weave through these massive spikes of ice. Some of them these great icebergs just like are like crumbling and falling as you're like scooting straight through them. There's a few close calls, and then you hear behind you there's like a rumble in the shuttlecraft as you like glance at like the view screen behind you, and there's this humongous furred like flying creature that is like hurtling towards you.
Oh, great.
And you can only assume that this is the extra challenge that Rosie has added into this program, because it does not look like any native creature to this planet. And unfortunately, Rosie like gets caught. One of her nacelles on her shuttlecraft gets caught by a scrape of ice, and it slows the ship down just enough for this creature to just whack, just like rip into her shuttlecraft.
Oof.
And she goes careening, and then the program ends for her, just as the safeties kick in, and you win. She's like lying on the ground in like the turned off holodeck. She's like, "Good job. Yeah, that's about 80%, right? As good as you."
Yeah, no, you were right.
So what you're saying is that she got hit with a turtle shell.
Pretty much, yeah. She did get blue shelled, yes. Okay, and describe to me
Hit
how
me pretending I know video games.
describe to me how you sort of like teach a lot of these newbies of flying how to fly.
I think the first thing that I tell them is to get out of their own heads about it. Like, I'm gonna look around and see if anybody is looking like anxious or looking like they're taking this super seriously, and just look around and be like, okay, you know those like energizer like songs that they make you do at summer camp when you're like 6 to like 12-ish range? I like sort of like take a look around at everyone, and I sort of like put them through some sort of like completely ridiculous like elementary school summer camp like warm up like routine of some kind. It's probably age appropriate for like a 12-year-old or
You gotta get the
something like
classic
that.
head, knees, I can't talk. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Knees and
Exactly.
toes.
That's exactly it. I'm like, perfect. And so I like put him through that, and I'm like, okay, so you know why we did that then? Is because you're all sitting here looking like you're on death row or something. And there are no consequences. There are no consequences. There are no stakes. There are not really a whole ton of rules, to be honest. It's a flight simulator. We're here to do some fun stuff. I mean, hell, there's a kind of barrel roll I've been wanting to try for a while that I may get on. So just shake it all out, get out of your own head. No one ever did anything well the first time. So drop your expectations.
Yeah, at
which
your
is probably
comment,
not
yeah.
the vibe of thing that people were expecting him to say
Yeah.
here.
There's a huge like shell shock. Everyone's like, "This is Dave Evan like telling this," and like there's
Everyone's
someone
like,
when you said like don't like follow the rules or something, like there's no rules, like something like that. One of them like whispers to their friend. They're just
someone
like,
probably
Dave Evan say there's no rules. Did he just say there's no rules? And yeah.
and I like look over at the person. I'm like, yeah, that's the rule.
Yeah, yes,
That's
sir.
the rule today.
Yes, sir. Okay. Sure. And yeah, so I'm debating if I want to make you roll to see how well it goes. But I think that might be fun. Yeah, why don't you roll? Why don't you roll a presence command check to see how well you can teach
Okay.
people how to fly?
How many days am I rolling for this?
See how
So,
good his pep
it'll
talk
be 2.
was.
Yeah. 2 dice.
It went behind my computer, so oh, sick. Okay, that is 2 successes, one of which is under my command score.
Okay, do you have any focuses?
I was rolling to beat a focuses.
Apply.
Composure, I guess.
I'll give it
I
to you.
think probably like evasive action or helm operations might also work here because I'm trying to teach them that.
Yeah, that's
So
true. Yeah, sure, I'll
do
give
a
it to you.
couple of things.
So yeah,
Quick
so that's
reply.
so that would be 3 successes then, because one of them is below your score. Yes. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So you
Sorry,
easily
I was
like.
nodding and totally forgot you couldn't see me.
You lead them into the holodeck and to start just like setting them down at the helm, and they're just like all of them are just like like staring terrified at the console with all the buttons to it, and you're just like just calmly just like touch here, hit here, and like sometimes the ship will go like lurch and the stimulation will like rock you all back around, but overall you do a really
And when that happens, I try and take approach of like, hey, that was kind of fun.
oh, and they're like, yeah,
There's-
totally. And then
There's
everyone
definitely
Hey, what?
a bullion security officer whose attitude is push all the buttons to figure out what they do. So have fun. He's very much just like, oh, what does this do? Oh, I'm gonna figure this out by just pushing everything.
That one doesn't go as well, but
Yeah.
but you managed to teach pretty much everyone, and Rue was right that one Andorian, that shifting Andorian was doing pretty well, and you catch their they catch your attention as you are.
I'm definitely
teach them
gonna
to
make
fly.
a note of that one and just like
Mhm.
shoot him a message later or something being like, hey, if you ever have any interest in learning any more of this, let me know.
They give you a nod and we'll slink away. Okay.
He'll
So,
think
sir,
about it.
Hmm?
He'll consider it.
yes.
I think that I don't know like how cameras work in this in this setting, to be honest. But I do like the idea of being like after the whole like nonsense is all wrapped up, I'll send a little like a small batch of data files to the people who were there, just being like, hey, here's some pictures of when you were just having fun.
Aww.
When you like sort of
when
chilled.
it's like
Dave
And I'll
Evans,
probably
like,
also send it to like the senior staff.
Aw.
theme park ride, like
Yeah, theme park ride.
pictures, everybody.
Everyone's like, ah. Some people do silly faces. It's fun.
I definitely got one of Rosie on the floor.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yes. Awesome.
She's like, "Can you get that framed?"
I specifically can, yes. That's the
Okay.
sort of pedantic Earth bullshit I do.
Yeah.
I
She
just
loves it.
I imagine that Dave Evan frames 2 copies of that picture, one for Brosy and one to put up in the captain's ready room where the captain doesn't notice immediately, but everyone else can see it when they come in.
It's just Rosie like splayed out, just like, oh god.
This is the big reveal is Dave Evans got jokes.
He's got fucking bars, man. Fucking comedy bars. Is that everything you would like to do for now?
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Awesome. Cool. Titula,
Hey.
what would you like to do?
Titulo would like to sit down and do some more work on the data he gathered.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what actually happens.
Is it now?
No.
No, it isn't. So you are working, and are you working at your station in?
I think Situla got kicked out of their lab.
Okay.
It was sort of like Dr. Sess or someone like poked their head in and they were like, Lieutenant, we're on shore leave. Get out.
Get out.
And Situla is like, I'm just gonna take this back to my rooms then, and the scientist was like, cool. You're not allowed in the labs,
Just
though.
not in here, yeah.
No labs.
There's a little sign right next to the door that says "No Situla allowed." Yeah. So you are working in your room, sort of at your little desk, and your work is interrupted. Like you're looking at a view screen, just sort of like inputting formulas and like studying data, and suddenly there's a ping of a incoming message.
Naru and Tater. And we're open.
Mm-hmm.
What's happened? What's
Is-
going on?
Is it like, do you just answer the call, or is it like a "who is calling me" kind of thing?
It's a bit like, who's calling me? Has trouble happened in the labs while I've been gone?
Mm-hmm.
No, they would have calmed me.
You check, and it is of your mother.
Vitula goes through like multiple emotions. One is mom, and then the other is shit, mom.
Oh god, it's mom.
And it's like, can I ignore her call? But when am I going to be in range to take a call from mom again? Also, if I ignore her call now, she's not going to let it go for the next, like, 20 years. But I think I know why she's calling, and I don't want to talk about it. But if I don't talk about it now, she's going to make me talk about it for the next 20 years, and eventually it becomes like, okay, answer.
And this appearance of a I would say older Vulcan, but older Vulcans sort of look like normal adult humans because they're very long lived. And why don't you describe what she looks like?
She's very tall and stately. She has laugh lines, which is
Odd
unusual for a Vulcan.
yeah.
And she has very long, pin straight black hair and dark skin. And she is sitting very primly in her chair, but behind her there's just like a lot of color and art and various things. There's in a prominent place where the camera can see it.
Mm-hmm.
is a drawing that Situla made when very tiny child. But other than that, she's a diplomat on a ship full of diplomats that just get called in to be a neutral third party uh in various things, and most of them are Vulcans, and most of them are Vulcans that every other Vulcan is like, they're weird and I don't like them. um she just has a lot of like gifts from various uh people she's helped,
Mhm.
and also a lot of things that like printed out and stuck with a magnet, Situla's old tests and stuff, and it's always mortifying for
Yeah. So she like perks up a little bit as you answer, as if she was like resigned that you weren't going to answer for a second. And then she says, "My star. I was concerned you would not pick up.
Well, I just wasn't at my desk. I
Were you busy with work again?"
Is it work if I enjoy it?
"Still work."
It was a personal project. I've been
"Which
kicked out of
one?"
the labs. A new one. I don't think I'm allowed to talk about it.
"Confidential.
Yes,
Fascinating."
but groundbreaking.
Like there's a hint of a smile, which is a lot for a Vulcan. And she says, "I always knew my star would get into groundbreaking work."
She'll make exactly the face that I'm making, which is when you receive a compliment and you can't deal with it, which Situla usually doesn't have a problem with, but it's their mom.
"I'm sure you're wondering why I contacted you at this time."
Yes, I am. Um, I had somewhat resigned myself to not hear from you and Mother, Mama for the next 5 years or so.
"Yes, well, we thought so too until I received your message, and I pulled some strings to get some enhanced subspace relays. Make sure we can get this conversation."
Uh, did that.
"Yes, my star, of course I saw it. I read everything you send me. I am choosing to ignore the subsequent message in which you told me not to respond. Because I can tell I can tell that you are, for lack of a better word, upset." Am I correct in this assumption?
Very vulnerable emotionally in the immediate aftermath of that mission, but it's been a few days.
You are
I'm
allowed to
doing
be
fine.
vulnerable. You do know this. I have told you many times. Being vulnerable is not a weakness. It is a strength. One I think you could use. Would you like to speak about it?
A silly thing to worry about.
More silly than the frog incident.
Finn. I was 7 when that happened, Mother.
And yet you still wear the gloves, don't you?
That's just good practice.
Yes, I suppose. You know I like to joke.
I know. I know. I You've always encouraged me.
As a good mother should.
I'm. I don't know that I've ever reached a point where you would tell me no. I don't know that I've ever reached a point where I would tell myself no, and I'm not sure where that line is. And I think the mission that we had recently made me realize that I should figure out where that line is.
It is a very hard line to find. But once you find it, it is very... very jarring when you do find that.
I know I've done things that
We're reckless.
I was going to say weren't received well by colleagues.
Maybe not, but that doesn't mean they weren't in good faith. And for the betterment of others. Is there something that happened where you might have done something or thought about doing something that wouldn't be on these good faith measures?
An awful lot of faith in me. I can't say that everything I've done has been for the interest of bettering society rather than simply increasing my own knowledge of the universe. I wonder how often others have that as a patient. Horrible. In the name of science and knowledge. I think like I said, it has been a few days. I realized I'm that there are people around me who do know what mine is. And I think I can trust them to stop me if I ever get too close.
I'm overjoyed to hear that you have found others that can help you. I think, well, it reassures me that you are not alone in both mind, body, physically, mentally, emotionally. Have others to support you.
Daru is here.
Yes, and I am very glad. Have you two been getting along?
Of course, and staying out of trouble.
Of course.
Sometimes trouble finds us.
As it always wants to do. Is there anything else, my star?
Really like someday I would really love.
Maybe at some point you'll find your way here. even if your mission is so far off. You never know what the winds of fate will take.
What makes it so exciting? You, Mother. I feel much better for talking.
Of course, and just always think, what would your mother do?
Well, you're the sort who could talk down a tornado if you really put your mind to. I'm not sure.
You would rather jump into it.
I can't deny that.
Have fun chasing tornadoes. We love you very much.
Love you too. Give my love to Mama and to everyone else.
They will be very glad to hear from you. Gives you a little Vulcan salute. And it's the call.
I do want to reiterate that Sichla is a Kelpian, not a Vulcan, but was raised by
Vulcans.
Vulcan.
Yeah.
And Mama is Sichla's biological Kelpian mother.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Anything else you would like to do?
That was kind of it
All right.
for Sichla.
Okay.
I really just wanted to have Mom.
Okay. Let's circle over to the captain and see what the captain is doing these days.
So the captain has not spent a lot of time on the station outside of meetings with the admiral. Admiral, wow, I can words. So I think they wanted to spend some time exploring the station, um, looking for things that they can send back for their siblings. But I just, while everybody else was doing their thing, I thought of another thing that the captain wants to do that is a little out there.
Okay.
Um,
Lay it on me.
So they are going to sit down in their quarters with the computer terminal recording audio and video.
Okay.
And it's not a log, it's a personal recording. They're going to start talking. I've been told by multiple individuals that you are demons and that you are always watching. And I was told recently that you have another name, the Yath. I was wondering if there is a reason why you're watching. If there is something that you're looking for, something that we can help you find or learn. I've felt you watching. And I think you need something. And I think you're watching to figure out who can help you get it. I don't know if I'm that person, and I don't know if my crew can be of any help. But I don't like the thought of you out there waiting for someone and not getting any response. And they will sit there for a good 20, 30 minutes, just kind of reiterating that thought every couple of minutes.
Okay.
And then they'll shut it down.
You play back what you recorded.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Okay. You play back for the first time, and there's this the recording picks up the sort of ambient air around you, the ambient noises of the air around you, the hum of the engines, the I suppose that would be the only thing, the sound of the vents, the filtering air throughout the ship. And the first time you listen through it, you don't really hear much. That's all you hear. I'm gonna ask you, and this is a roll because of your implants specifically, but make a reason. Gosh, make a reason. I'm debating what this discipline would be. Reason science, I guess, would be the best.
I have a stretch
Okay.
here, but I have diffuse attention. I get a bonus d20 to persuade someone not to use violence.
I'm gonna say no on that because you're not really you don't really know the intention of who you're talking to, so you don't know if they're going to
It
be
was a
violent.
stretch,
Yeah.
but I had to try. Reason science. Not
Difficulty
great,
will be
guys.
difficulty 2 for right now.
Can I take a momentum for an extra die?
Yeah, absolutely. Have I mentioned this episode that I love Captain Christian? My favorite Star
I
Trek
keep giving
captain.
thumbs up
Mhm.
to indicate that I'm agreeing.
So we have
Yes, I
one
agree.
momentum. Extra die. My reason science is not great, you guys.
What'd you get?
Okay, first of all, question.
Yeah.
Does my focus and persuasion apply?
Sure, I'll allow it.
Okay, it doesn't matter because one of those is a 1. So
Okay.
I got a 1, a 6, and a 17, so I have 3 successes.
Okay. Gain a momentum back. You start to really focus and like tune in your implants to really just pick out the ambient sounds, and you start to dip into some subspace frequencies with your implants, and to start to hear that sort of dull roar of of subspace, which is a strange feeling, a strange sound, that and this feeling that sort of pervades your body, and sort of like a spirit box of some kind. There's this like the sound of just white noise, and sort of filtering through there's these fragments that you could swear sounds like words. And all it says is there's like noise, there's like esque ape. And that's all you hear.
So I would just like to put it out there that the captain doesn't tell anybody about this.
Okay.
And
Captain.
repeats this over multiple consecutive days, whenever they have a free moment. Sometimes it's not like consistently the witching hour late at night creepy. It's like I have 10 minutes at lunch, and they'll phrase things differently in the way of like attempting to get more information, but really still asking the same questions. And they'll collect all of the recordings in a separate file, because they're not sure what they're going to do with that yet. But
Okay. I will say that so far, all the times that you do this, that first time is the only time you get anything. Just fragments of a single word.
excellent. And I have a follow-up question to that.
Okay.
Does the timestamp on the recording from when they hear that word match to any particular feeling they might have had at that time when they felt like someone was watching them?
You're sort of hard pressed to like remember when that exact moment was, even with a timestamp.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always there's that feeling of like, even when you know that there's nothing watching you, there's like, but what if there is, kind of feeling, that's sort of been pervading throughout, like been
Okay.
pervasive for a while. So you can't really pinpoint when it was.
Thank you.
Did you want to do your other thing, or would you...
Sure, I'll go shopping.
Yeah, shopping episode. So yeah, so you will disembark the ship and start walking along the oh my god, what do they call it? Called
Promenade.
The promenade?
promenade. It's called something. Call it something. Galleria. That's what they're calling it. On this station, it's called the Galleria. Fancy. And it's just just a strip, a circular strip, around the sort of outer edge of the space station, and it has port views, like giant portholes, showcasing the deep expanse of space out there. And as you're walking, you can see the Gwen sort of just floating out in space with a bunch of work bees sort of buzzing around it as it's repairing the ship still. You walk by several Klingon stations, sort of shops. Some of them selling weapons, some of them selling various Klingon merchandise. There's a particular Klingon selling like curios and memorabilia sort of things, sort of like touted as like things from like artifacts from the Shackleton Expanse, like stuff like that.
And to be
Anything?
honest, they would probably check out the weapons.
Okay. There's plenty of Klingon styled weapons. They seem to have a majority of Klingon weapons. Some Dichtaks, some fancy bat'leths, all those different kinds of Klingon weaponry. There's a few like non-Klingon weaponry. Some of them there's like there's a few like ritualistic Orion weaponry. Some Gorn weapons, which are these hefty, huge things that befit the size of a Gorn. Are like much bigger than humans, most humans. And a couple of like Federation style weaponry. Some like Earth, like a katana. There's a katana somewhere, and stuff like that. And the shopkeeper, sort of this buff looking Klingon woman with uh, sort of thickly braided hair and prominent ridges on her forehead, sort of leaning against one of the against her counter. Find anything you like.
I was just admiring your display of TikToks.
Yes, beautiful. Many of them have been used by me personally.
I would expect nothing less.
Are you wearing your uniform right now?
No, the captain would be in civilian clothing.
Okay. He like eyes you up and down. And what brings you to this little outpost in the middle of nowhere?
Just making a stop on my way through. Figured I'd pick up some souvenirs before I head out again.
Well, these are no mere souvenirs. These are meant for real use. Would you like to pick one up? Test it out? Not on me, though I'd like to see you try.
Maybe another time. And
But
so, they'll pick one up and take a look at it.
mhm. It's this one has a nice bronze hilt and a stark, almost white metal blade that has two extra little prongs
Mm-hmm.
and a lever on the hilt to flip them out. Um, it's engraved.
Are they
with
all about the
Klingon.
same size?
They're mostly
Sorry.
about the same size. There's a few like bigger ones and a few smaller ones. They're sort of varied in size.
So they would probably look towards the smaller ones.
Okay. pick up a small one. It sort of has this almost like pearlescent sheen to it on the hilt, and etched in are several Klingon characters. And again, this is a darker blade, almost of like a gunmetal shade of gray, of a blade. Smaller, definitely could fit in a hidden place.
How much are you asking for these?
Didn't think you human types had money these days. You have credits?
Do I have credits, GM?
um, never really talk about money much in Star Trek, do they? You probably have like an allotment of credits.
I have a few.
Is this for you or is it a gift?
It's about time my younger brother gets his own, and I'm weighing my options.
He like puffs a laugh and will oh, how old? Says, I don't know about Klingons get their first blade when they're 6, maybe even younger sometimes. I don't know about humans though.
How to fucking do math for this? Hold on. Scroll through my backstory. Oh. I got him his first one when he was 8. I was stationed near Khitomer. I was going to get him another one before I left the station, but kind of hard to go back and pick up commissions from Khitomer when it's not there anymore.
Quite a loss. Tell you what, 100 credits.
Can I do some kind of insight check?
Yeah, make a make
Like,
insight command check.
Does that sound like a decent price for me?
Yeah. I'll set this at difficulty 1.
What am I rolling?
Oh, insight command.
Oh, I'm good at that. Okay. Two successes.
Okay, gain a momentum. This is definitely
Just barely.
Yeah, this is a good, about a good price.
Seems reasonable. And I will purchase the weapon
Excellent.
for my baby brother.
Anything else you would like to do? Any other
I would
shops
just
you would
like
like
to
to
say for the record that, bitch, I'm soft.
All having lovely family
Just to
moments.
state for the
today.
record, this whole episode,
I did the math. Baby brother is 15 right now.
Oh,
Aw.
baby. Hi.
I had to do math.
There's another baby.
Hi, Oliver.
Oh, baby.
Look at that boy.
No, you
Gonna
can't.
go bother Abe.
Yeah, come
Go
over on.
No,
play,
only butts.
but
There's his little face.
eat
I
him
come into
face.
frame too. Hang on. Come into frame, little guy. Head.
There he is.
Hi.
Aw.
There's a little face.
Okay. All right. So, are any other shops you would like to go to?
Yeah, the other thing I'm looking for is something bright and colorful.
Okay. There's definitely going to be. He's sitting on my book now, so I can't use that anymore. Thank you all. There's definitely that in that curios shop. There's some brightly colored like necklaces, and these all like sort of like various arrays of stones of varying dubious purposes. Like to visit that shop?
Sure.
All right. This is a. I'm gonna guess this right now. A very eccentric, androgynous looking. Yeah, why not? A Romulan, actually. You almost mistake them for a Vulcan for a second until you see this more prominent ridge on their head and the sort of their hair is definitely not one of a traditional Vulcan style, so is much more wild, almost like a mane of hair. They sort of glance you up and down and says, "Welcome to my shop. How can I help you?"
I am just looking around for souvenirs. I promised my siblings I'd bring back things from the Expanse and
Well, look
got
no
some time
further.
here at the station. Figured I'd take a look around.
Yes, we have plenty things from all over, from many different worlds of the expanse. I have, see here, and they pull out a little cloak, or like this, like almost like a shawl of some kind, of this iridescent sort of flowing colors. It almost seems like it's like shifting in colors. Now, this is from an. Well, I bought this from a Aclid trader who said they come from the outside world in the Shackleton Expanse. Oliver.
Is there a little Romulan cat
There is a little
adjacent
Romulan.
creature just climbing around on the counter?
He's
Can it be a Sealat?
Yeah, a little Romulan
I know that's Vulcan,
Sealat.
not Romulan, but
it's not a
it's
Sealot,
like
no.
better than Sealat.
It's a cat. It's a Romulan cat. Real quick. Second. Oliver, please.
I'm not part of this scene, so I'll remove the bowl.
Mm-hmm. They will hold out the shawl towards you after shooing away their cat, and like hold it out towards you and say, "From the wonderful world of Hokaro." A lovely little species. I don't think you Federation types would approve. Not yet war capable, but I think the purchase was worth it.
It's lovely. The sibling I'm shopping for right now can be a little hard on their clothing. So I try to steer away from clothing purchases. They
Oh, of
feel
course,
bad
something
after
more
they get
durable.
paint.
Would you care for some rare crystals?
Do you have any artwork?
Yes, I should. 1 second. Like look around their shop and they like hold their hands up and like are like doing some like calculation where things are, and they run over to another side and like pull off a little tapestry. Pulls down a painting. This is of Romulan make in the style of Klingon, surprisingly. Klingon high art. Well, as high as Klingons can get. And they hold it out to you. It's a depiction of a nebula of some kind, um, with several sort of celestial bodies sort of floating throughout the nebula.
It's lovely.
Only 300 credits.
We'll have to think about it. My budget is, well, credits are hard to come by for, as you would say, are us Federation types.
Yes, well, sure, there's something we could do. Come to some kind of arrangement for a reduced price.
Let me think about it. I do have a friend who is also looking for some souvenirs to send back towards Earth. Maybe I'll bring him by later and see if I still like it.
Very well, and they sort of set the thing aside. And if there's anything else you need, of course, here for you.
Absolutely. I appreciate your generosity in showing me your ways.
Give you a nice, like a soft bow. And then like,
And
their
I
attention
will
sort of
return the
settles,
gesture and leave.
yeah, their attention sort of caught by their cat knocking something off the counter and having to go save it. Hey, anything else? Or would you like to fade to black so we can go to someone else? Or
Yeah.
okay, and we can.
Can
You
I
can.
do a really sorry?
No, you're fine. Go for it.
Can I do a quick getting ready for the festival scene?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Yes.
Um,
Rue.
I was going to actually ask, I am literally falling asleep. I don't think I
Aw.
can actually stay awake any longer. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. Next session
Okay.
we can stop for tonight. We'll get your seeing out moon tomorrow or next in 2 weeks, and we will do the full festival next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
I'm really
Rue.
sorry. I was just like, I think I probably like almost an hour ago. I was like, oh, I want to sleep. I was like,
Aw.
okay, let's see if I can like gently steer this away. But I was just like, I physically cannot anymore. So
No, it's okay.
Bedtime for
Bedtime for
Rue.
Bedtime
me.
for Rue. Thank you everyone for sticking with us and joining us. Thank you for this wonderful. Thank you to my players for this wonderful little game we had. It was nice to have lots of little character moments. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you to our Patreon supporters for supporting us Patreoningly. Yeah, you can see us again on Saturday with some TTRPGs, indie TTRPGs, and yeah, and on Monday as well with more
Garden of Blue Roses.
Garden of Blue
I'm not gonna
Roses.
cancel it again, I promise.
Yeah. And yeah, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay queer. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.